Hello, that way, and welcome back to more Fridays and Freddy's Frights. Right. Last time we finished the first book of the series, Into the Pit, which has let me quickly explain what's going on here. If you haven't seen the first video or just me just joining into the series just now, or just haven't heard of Frights Freddy's or Fazbear Frights. Frights Freddy's is a video game, kind of horror, and these books are based on that. Sort of. Some things may be canon to the games, something may not. It's not really all that explicit, I guess. And there's a total of 5 books. Each book has a total of 3 stories in them. That's why I said Into the Pit was one of the stories in Into the Pit. Fetch is going to be a story in Fetch. You get the idea. The title story is going to be a part of the book. But anyway, we're on to the second book of the series, Fetch. And this one, ooh, the doggo is just like staring at me, looking at me, saying, yes, I am ready to go. So what's the 3 stories this time? We got Fetch, of course, Lonely Freddy, alright, and Out of Stock. Really how the O is not capitalized. Anyway, we're just starting on the same page now, are we? Is it like that for every story? Yeah, it's like that for every story. That is weird. The first book had it were on the same page as the wasn't really on the same page as each other, so it's kind of weirdly now. Anyway, story number 5 of the series. Yes, I'm counting the Stitchway story as story number 4. Even though it's multiple mini stories in that arc, or as I call them, episodes. So, enough of me yammering on. Oh, this series is also me kind of doing theories as I'm reading these things out. So if you don't want my commentary over it, too bad, you're going to have to read the book yourself. Also, I might do some ad-libs as well, so alright, let's do it. Fetch. The surf, the wind, and the rain were at war, battling against the old building so forcefully Greg did if its crumbling walls could stand against them. When the roaring thunder mastered the border up window again, Greg jumped back suddenly into Cyril and something on to his foot. Ow! Cyril shoved Greg, jabbing his fat knife frantically at the wall in front of them. The light scanned over the drill of blue sight warfare and what seemed to be 2 weapons. FR 6 or something? Dark. 6 or something dark straight on the wall. Is that pizza stores? Or something else? Hardy. Haida? Tagdale? Hardy. Hardy? It sounds like a girl's name. Hardy. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, I'm sorry. That is his two bumbly friends. It's just the wind, guys. Suck it up. Another gust of hit the building, and the walls shuddered jolly around Hades' voice. Hades' voice? The wailing pounding on the metal roof jigged up, but inside the building, close by, something tiny creaked loud enough to be heard over the way. What's that? Still wailed as strong as fast like a wire. A barely 13 sails a year than Greg and Hades. Though still in the friendly freshman's class. He was short and skinny with a boy's features and limp brown hair. And he had the mistletoe sounding like a cartoon mouse. He didn't really make friends. Oh. Let's go check out the pizzeria. No, I can't do this series if I'm trying to do the Mickey Mouse. It's me, Mickey Mouse. I love that pizzeria. I would just end up doing that. Oh, I can guess which old pizzeria this is. 1 second, guys. Let's put this off. Thought I'd get this off, but nope, apparently not. So this is from Macadie. She does some amazing artwork. So I decided just to borrow some. So you can look at it in the background. So I'm really glad I suggested. Yeah. I guess I have to do a squeaky voice. Yeah, this was a great idea. Fine, kid out your voice. Whatever. It was a crisp autumn night, and the seaside town was dark, robbed of power by the latest storm salt. Greg and his friends had a Saturday night of gaming and junk food, but as soon as the power went out, Hades' parents tried to recruit them for a ball game. The families resisted during houses. He had convinced his parents to let the boys' sisters to Greg house. Oh, Hades a boy's name. It sounds like a girl's name. Heyday. I can't think of any way else to pronounce it other than the girlish way. You know? Yeah. Sorry, it's just weird to be out. Well, they could play one of Greg's new laptop game instead. But instead, Greg enlisted them to go to the pizzeria. For days he didn't know to do it. It was like he was drawn to this place. What? That's what I don't get. Why is Greg drawn to this place? That just seems weird. First of them was our protagonist from Into the Pit, and now Greg is doing it. And why? Greg, you're acting weird. Who was there? Oswald. Yeah, Oswald had a connection too. What the heck is going on in these books? Or maybe he had it all wrong. This could be a wild goose chase. Greg shined his flashlight around the corridor. They just explored the kitchen of the abandoned restaurant and had the shock to find it filled with pots, pans, and dishes. Who closed a pizzeria and left all that stuff behind? After they left the kitchen, they found themselves next to a large stage at one end of what has once been the main eating area of the derelict pizzeria. A heavy black curtain at the back of the stage was drawn close. None of the boys had volunteered to see what was behind the curtain, and none of them had mentioned seeing the curtain move when they passed the stage. Hardy laughed again. Better than hanging around with the fans. Hey, what's that? Let's look! Sir English like a investor Hades Grace. Greg turned his face that way too. Towards the far corner of the large table-full room they stood in, the glowing beam landed on a row of hulking shapes lined up along a murky glass counter. Bright eyes reflected light back from them across the room. Cool, he said, knocking aside a broken table as he made his way towards the counter. Maybe, Greg thought, frowning at the eyes. One pair seemed to be staring right at him. Despite the confidence he felt before, he was beginning to wonder what exactly he was doing here. Haley approached the counter first. This is dope! He reached over his knees when the dust spilled off from the stand. Before they had left his house, Greg suggested they all take handkerchiefs to cover their noses and mouth. But he couldn't find any. He was expected to find the empty restaurant filled with dust, mold, mildew, and who knows what else. Surprisingly, given the West Coastal climate, the only decay they seen was dust. But there was a lot of dust. Dust. It gets everywhere. It's like sand. Only worse. Greg stepped around an overturned metal chair and passed Cyril, who had his back pressed to a dirty plant-peeled pillar in the middle of the dining area. Other than one broken table and two upside-down chairs, the area looked like it just needed a heavy cleaning before it could be fit for diners. Which again was strange. Greg had known something would be here, but he didn't expect the building to still hold dishes and furniture. What else? That's kind of weird. But was someone hiding out here? Again, this is just weird. Greg looked at what Haiti held, and he stuck it in his breast. Was this what he came for? Was this why the old place was coined to him? What is it? Still not moving any closer to the counter. I think it's a cat. He turned to not being roughly filled object he found. Or maybe a felt. He poked at whatever it was. Maybe I'm a tronic. He put it down and shined his light over the sheet over the counter. Yeah, awesome. The prices, see? He scanned his light over the stiff figures. That explained the like cubby holes that lined the broad hallway Greg and his friend had come through to get to the dining area. The little closes must have been for the arcade cabinets and game booths. I can't believe these are still here, Haley said. Yeah. Greg frowned, studying what looked like a stiff the sea and a tiny octopus. Why were they still here? The old pizzeria stood, boarded up and bombarded by coastal storms and sea air, for who knows how long. The structure was clearly abandoned, and it looked not just old, but ancient, on the verge of collapse. The grain river sliding was so faded you could barely tell it was. The name of the pizzeria was long ago. I know what it's called. So why did it look so good on the inside? Well, not good exactly. But where Greg stood, the building looked steady enough to stand another 100 years. I will walk 100 years, and I will walk 100. Sorry. Just to be that man who will stand up for 500 years at your door. Necessary. Greg and his parents had moved to the small town when he was in first grade, so he knew the place well. But he didn't really understand it. For example, he's always thought it was strange that a border of pizzeria had been left untouched in what was supposedly to be a vacation spot. But then again, this wasn't exactly a striking resort town. Greg's mom called it a hodgepodge. Big fancy holes could be found across the sea from tiny, ugly beach caverns digged in dirty fishing boats, and surrounded by piles of old timber of crumpled lawn furniture. The house across from Greg had a huge boxy sedan, like from the 70s, up on the blocks in the front yard. Still, Greg wondered why a pizza place couldn't be turned into something useful instead of being left a gaunt old ghost building that practically break in to local kids. Yeah, that's not a sign of doom. Yeah, because that's the first thing I think of. Go into an old abandoned pizza place. I don't get it. Oh well. But believe me, it didn't look like anyone had broken in before Greg and Cyril and Haley did. Why is there any comments to change these hands? Greg had figured these five footprints, tracks, graffiti, evidence that other explorers had been there before them, but nothing. It was like the place was abandoned. This is from a time, I don't know how to say that. And preserved it to Greg suddenly felt like he was supposed to come here. Which again is fucking weird. I bet these are still here because they're really good prizes, he said. No one ever wins the good prizes. Still piped off. He had edged a little closer to the counter, but he was still several feet away. there aren't any crowns, so Greg has to so there wouldn't be any crowds inside the restaurant. But in order to convince sales to come on. Not that Greg knew one way or the other. What's that one? Sale pointed at the large head-gate figure with a big nose. It sat on the side that read top price. Yep, that's the picture. That's the picture you see. If you're seeing it. Greg picked it up before Haley could. It was heavy, and it felt battered and coarse. He was only drawn to the animal, whatever it was. He started the pointed ears, soft forehead, long snout, and piercing yellow eyes. Then he noticed the blue collar around the animal's neck. Something greeny dangled on the collar. A dog tag? He lifted it. Fetch. Hey, we're always 7 pages in and we already got the name. Title drop. Haley went over Greg's shoulder. It's a dog named Fetch. Greg loved dogs for the most part, but he hoped to never see one like this one in real life. He held the dog up and turned it this way and that. Even the vicious dog that lived next door to Greg wasn't this ugly. Fetch looked like someone had crossed the big bad wolf with the sharks for jaws. Did you say jaws? I can make the sound effects for jaws. Ba 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 ba. Tell you I can make the sound effect for Jaws. Never question my ability to question sound effects. I don't even know at this point. His, surely it was a he. Head was a triangle, pointing on top, and with a mouth far too wide for comfort at the bottom. Fetch's fur, which looked grayish brown and spotty glow in the flashlight, was missing places, revealing tarnished metal on the beneath. A couple of wires stuck out of the big ears, and a partially exposed cavity in Fetch's belly revealed what looked like a printed circuit board. Look at this! Look at this! Sarah was surprisingly now interested in the counter. He picked out a small booklet inside a plastic set. I think it's the instructions. Let me see. Greg plucked the booklet from Sarah's glass. Hey! Sarah squeaked. Ow! Sarah, your nose is sounding like my voice. Is this how Nico feels about voicing pills? Yeah. Greg annulled his protest. This could be it. Putting Fetch on the counter, he pulled his booklet for the practice and scanned through the instructions. Haley went over his shoulder. Cyril stuck his head between Greg and Greg's chest and the booklet, forcing Greg to hold the booklet farther out so they all could read together. Fetch, the instructions could see, was an animatronic dog designed to sync up with your phone and receive intonation of other things for you. That's it, Haley said. Think it still works? How long has this place been empty? Greg asked. Rex looks like he's older than that, but small skulls haven't been around that long. Well, it just says phone, so maybe old style phone. You know those ones with the big flipping number pad and a small ass screen? Of course you don't. You just used to the whole screen being a phone. And that being the end of it. But yeah, in the 80s and 60s, they had these huge phones, which they later made smaller around the time of FNaF, I think. To the point where they got buttons and a screen. That's it. Also, you can play Snake on it. If a phone doesn't come with Snake on it, you're not on a phone. You're something different. You're on a washing machine. A washing machine. Well, that's a quote for the ages. That is just me just thinking of quotes. Because why the hell not? Just post this randomly to someone. You're not on a mobile phone. You're on a washing machine. Just post that out of context. See what happens. I'm going to do that after this video is over. Hager shrugged. Greg find it too, and he began poking around specifying control path. Hager and Phil wasn't just. It isn't going to work. It's over tech. It won't be connected with our phones, Phil said. See when the wind shuddered against the building again. Greg felt a chill settle down his spine. While he was waiting to win alien onslaught or something else, he wasn't sure. Greg returned his attention to facts. He wanted to see if he could get the dog thing to do whatever it was supposed to do. He had a hunch this might be what he felt in the field, what had caught him here. Still was serious about Flash, didn't surprise Greg. He would have known an opportunity if it bumped him between the eyes. Haley, on the other hand, was seen positive. He had a sunny disposition he pulled off like thought was nothing less than a magic trick. Haley was affected by the Fazbear crowd, despite having spent most of his time with Greg and Sil, two of the nerdiest kids in school. He had something to do with his looks. Greg had heard Gil talking about Haley. Haley was either fine, hot, cute, sharp, or just, depending on the girl who's talking. Haley wandered away from the counter and Sil propped the down chair at the nearby table. I think we should go, he said. Nah, Haley busted off. There's still a lot to check out. Greg ignored the bow. He picked up Fetch and found a panel on the Fetch's desk. Juggling the instructions Fetch and his flashlight, Greg bit it and concentrated on hitting the right buttons in the right sequence. For instance, the wind and rain let up, leaving the building in a silence that felt almost menacing. Greg glanced up at the scene. He noticed a large stain above his head. A water stain? Distracted from his task for a second, he shined his light over the whole scene. No other stains no other stains. In fact, why wasn't the whole of the inside of the restaurant dripping? He thought he'd seen part of the metal roof missing when he first looked at it. Why was it leaking? This is so weird. It's like someone has been here. Someone actively been here, fixed up the place, and then just left. What? Someone has been here. That's what this is telling me. Someone has been here. And a whistling for a bit. A whist. This is really out. Shrugging, he returned his search to fetch. That is something you don't shrug at, Greg! See, this is what happens. See, shrugging at that stuff is what gets you killed. Or even worse. Get turned into a trash pile. Which also kills you. At this point, he was just randomly pressing buttons. None of the sequences laid out instructions were doing anything. As rusty as it stopped, the wind and waves started out again, and it could say, though, a manic drumming, pounding, and wailing. That's when Fetch moved. Suddenly, with a wearing sound, Fetch's head raised, then his gaping, tooth-filled mouth opened, and he growled. Oh wait, that's Greg. What the hell? Greg dropped Fetch on the counter and leaped back. Secretary still up to his chair. What? He asked, returning to his friend. Greg pointed at Fetch, who had a mouth with clearly a different distance than they had been when they found it. Sick, Haley said. They all stared at Fetch, edging backward in an unspoken agreement that a little distance was a good idea in case Fetch did something else. They waited. Something Fetch. Good boy? Haley got bored first. He tried his flashlight and gesture on stage. What do you think you sound like Curtis? I don't want to know. Still said. Behind them, a door slammed inside the building. Door slammed. Inside the building! As a unit, the boys ran through the dining hall and down to the storage room they broke into. Even though the stores still reached the room fast. Out through the narrow gas, they managed to create a jammed service door opening before the other boys could squeeze through. Outside, pressed by rain, sinking out the bikes. So someone was inside there, and still is inside. But who? Oh, that's just interesting to me. They got the bike. Greg figured the wind was gusting over 50 miles per hour now. No way they could bike home. He looked at Haley, whose teary back hair was matted against his head. Haley burst out laughing, and Greg joined it too. Sizzle has it, then started acting too. Come on. He sounds on the screen with. Without booking after the restaurant, they put their hands down and pushed their bikes against the door. As he trudged beside his friend, Greg thought about why he wanted them to explore to abandoned restaurant. They felt they left so much of it unexplored, like the area behind the cafeteria. There have been three doors of the hallway too. What was behind them? Greg was thinking neither found, not forgotten what he was there for. Had he done what he was meant to do? Why is it with these lies? And why aren't you asking who was in that restaurant? Someone else was in that restaurant. Who? I'd be interested if this location comes up again. Like a location of a similar nature comes up again in another story. Or the Stitchway story, since that seems to be connecting the other stories. I have no clue what's going on, but something is going on. Well, I think I shall leave it here for now. Next time, we'll continue on with Fetch, the first story. See you guys. Peace.